Okay, so here we go. We are talking about multiplying and dividing rational numbers today. On this notes video, we're going to focus specifically on multiplying rational numbers, just multiplying. The next video will focus on dividing. So here we go, multiplying rationals notes. So let's remember our integer rules, right? For addition, it's same sign, add. Different sign, subtract. We keep the sign of the bigger one, so you can be exact. What? With subtraction, keep change the sign, or you can use the circle method, right? The reason why we do that is to turn subtraction into addition. And let's not forget our division rules and multiplication rules. Same sign, positive, different sign, negative. So the idea is the same thing that we've been doing. This time we're just going to do multiplying and dividing with rationals. All right, so let's not forget, let's not forget our multiplying and dividing rules. Same sign, positive, different sign, negative. Now we're only going to do one example of multiplying decimal numbers because we want to get to the fractions. So just a couple of quick reminders about decimals. You don't need to line at the decimal point, just multiply, and then you'll be fine. So we've got 3.28 times 4.7. What we want to do is we want to count up the number of decimals. So number of decimals is there are 3 decimal numbers, right? There's 3 decimals. So at the end, we're going to need to make sure that we have 3 decimal numbers. Okay, so back to it. So we're multiplying here. 7 times 8 is 56. Oops, 56. Carry the 5. 7 times 2 is 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19, carry the 1. 7 times 3 is 21, 22. And now we bring it over. Don't forget about that placeholder 0, right? Remember that? Guys, remember placeholder 0. Don't forget placeholder zeros. That's going to be the biggest mistake people make on this. Now, placeholder 0. Now we do 4 times 8, which is 32. Carry the 3. 4 times 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11. Carry that 1. 4 times 3 is 12, 13. And now we just have to add those two together, and we get 6, 11, carry the 1, 4, 5, 1. Now, here's the big key idea. Remember, don't forget we have 3 decimal numbers, so we have to take that decimal that's over here and move it 1, 2, 3 spots. That's where our decimal is going to end up being. So our answer ends up being 15.416. So that's what our answer ends up being. Okay, cool. So we've got our work done for decimal numbers. Now let's move on to mixed numbers and fractions. So a couple things to remember. We want to write each improper fraction as a mixed number. Now, how do we do that? How do we write each improper fraction as a mixed number? Well, if you remember that this first fraction, it actually says, what does it say? It says 10 divided by 4. So the way to do that, to write each improper fraction as a mixed number, is just to do numerator divided by denominator. We actually just do the division. So 10 divided by 4. 4 goes into 10 2 times with the remainder of 2. So that 2 becomes the numerator of our new fraction. So we get 2 and 2/4, which of course simplifies to 2 and 1/2. We do the same thing on number 3. We go ahead and just do the division, right? So 17 divided by 3. 3 goes into 17 5 times with a remainder of 2. So that 2 becomes the numerator of our new fraction. Why is there a 3 here? Because we were dividing by 3 originally, so the 3 is still there. Now, one thing you don't want to forget, don't forget that negative. Okay, don't forget that negative. It's got to come to our answer. So don't forget that we have a negative 5 2/3. Okay, now we want to go the other direction. We would kind of do the opposite. So instead of doing division to go improper fraction to mixed number, we want to do multiplication to get mixed number to improper fraction. So let's get that mixed number in here. All right, and the way we do that is we kind of use this pattern that I like here. So we say 3 times 4 plus 1. Notice what I did here. 3 times 4. And then we add that numerator in, plus 1. Okay, so where'd that stuff come from? So the 3 was the denominator, the 4 was the whole number, and the 1 was the numerator. Okay, so that's where those came from. And so then that all 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 thirds would be our answer for that. All right, let's do the same thing. Don't forget there is this negative here, so that will just make our answer negative. All right, so let's go ahead and do 5 times 2 plus 3. And that gives us 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13 fifths. But don't forget, it's negative because of that negative in front. Okay, now we have the skills needed to actually go through the process of multiplying fractions. So the steps are listed. Change mixed numbers to improper fractions. Simplify diagonally, and I'll explain what that means in just a minute. We multiply straight across the numerator and straight across the denominator, and simplify and choose the sign. Okay, simplify just means same sign, positive, different sign, negative. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so the first things first, we're going to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. So that's already done over here. These are already fractions. We're good to go. So 1 is taken care of. We want to simplify diagonally. We call that cross-canceling. What we want to do is we want to look for any common factors between 2 and 8. So 2 and 8. There's a common factor of 2. So 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 8 4 times. And we want to do the same thing with 3 and 3. Well, 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 3 one time. So that's done. Now we want to multiply straight across the top. So straight across the top, 1 times 1 equals 1. Now we want to multiply straight across the denominator. 1 times 4 is 4. And now we need to simplify and choose the sign. Same sign, positive, different sign, negative 1/4 is our answer to this problem. All right, awesome. So let's do the number 7 in the same way. Notice no improper fractions, no mixed numbers, so we're good to go. Let's just go ahead and cross-cancel now. Sorry, that's step 5. Cross-cancel, also simplify diagonally. So 5 and 10 share a common factor of 5. So 5 goes into 5 one time, 5 goes into 10 2 times. Now 3 and 8 do not share any common factors, so those just stick around and stay by themselves. All right, so now we multiply straight across the numerators. 1 times 3 is 3. Straight across the denominators. 8 times 2, not 8 times 10, 8 times 2 is 16. And notice these are both positive, so same sign, positive, and that's all we need. Great. Now, number 8 here, problem number 8. We've got a whole number. What are we going to do with that? Well, the idea here is that we need to make sure that that whole number is written as an improper fraction. Think to yourself what a whole number would be written as an improper fraction. I'll write it out, see if your idea matches mine. Were you right? Would you write it as a fraction over 1? So, negative 5 becomes negative 5 over 1. And we need to convert 1 2/3 to an improper fraction. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So we get 5 thirds. So now we take a look. We see negative 5 times 5. We're multiplying straight across the numerator. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. 1 times 3 is 3. Now, what are we going to do with that? Well, we want to go ahead and simplify that. 3 goes into 25 8 times with a remainder of 1. So that becomes negative 8 1/3. Why negative? Because when we simplify and choose our sign, same sign, positive, different sign, negative. They're both different signs, right? Negative 5, positive. Coolio? All right, let's go ahead and do the last one. So I'm going to switch colors back over to purple because I like purple. And notice both of these are are mixed numbers. So we need to change them both to improper fractions. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Negative 9 over 4 times 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3. 15 plus 3 is 18 over 5. So now we want to simplify diagonally. Is there anything we can do to simplify these? Well, let's see. 9 and 5, nope, no common factors there. 4 and 18, they're both even, so a common factor of 2. So 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 18 9 times. And now let's multiply straight across. Negative 9 times 9 is negative 81. Oops, there was supposed to be a negative here. I was thinking something was up. There we go. It's actually positive 81. There we go. That's better. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 goes into 81 8 times with a remainder of 1. All right, and that's a positive answer. All right, so there is our notes over multiplying and dividing, over multiplying rational numbers.